Words are hard. Hey kittens, it's Megan, and today is a new day, a new video, and I figured I would do a fun little bookish get to know me. I was going to be doing the BookTube newbie book tag, but I wanted to do some of my own things. So I brainstormed a list of things, and then I asked a friend to help me brainstorm some things. And all in all, I have 10 bookish questions that I thought would be fun to go over. Question number 1 is, what is your favorite series? That one is hard. I grew up with a lot of good book series. I mean, I had the Hunger Games, I had Harry Potter, I had the Lord of the Rings, I had, you know, anything by, what's her name? I suck at BookTube already. The Wild Magic series by Tamora Pierce. That is the series. Like I said, I grew up with some really good ones. I think my favorite has to be The Old Kingdom by Garth Nix. It comprises of 3 books. Sabriel, which is my favorite book of all time, Lyriel, and Whoreson, and it all is about a world where necromancy is a thing, and necromancers are evil and they raise the dead to, you know, destroy towns and kill people and control everything. And there is one necromancer who has made it their mission to put the dead down. And it's just my favorite series. And the first book is all about Sabriel training to be the next Whoreson, which is the necromancer who puts the dead down. And it's been my favorite series for quite a while. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite audiobook? This one's really hard. I think I can narrow it down to 2, but they're series. So the first one is not a young adult series. It is a series called In Death, and it's by J.D. Robb, who is really one of Nora Roberts' pen names, but is a futuristic homicide detective in New York, and it's so good. I love that series. I listen to it all the time. It is my calm down series, my guilty pleasure, so I never ever think of it critically, because if I did that, it would ruin anything that I love about it, I think. But I love the In Death series so much. I own all of the audiobooks. There are 50 or a little bit over 50 right now. It's a problem. And the other is The Illuminae Files by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. The series is narrated through full cast audio, and I think I love the villain, quote-unquote villain, of the first book, Aiden. He is my favorite character of all time to listen to in an audiobook. Okay, so question number 3 is the book that gets you through hard times. My favorite book to read whenever I'm struggling with my depression, my anxiety, when I'm struggling with anything really, is actually a play. It is Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. I actually have a quote tattooed somewhere on my body. It's my happy place because everything turns out all right in the end, and I love Benedict and Beatrice and their relationship and how things go with them. I really dislike the slut-shaming that Claudio does to Hero, but neither here nor there. They're not my favorite couple. It's always Benedict and Beatrice, and I love them. So anyway, that is my go-to when things are bad book. Question number 4 is, what is your favorite classic? And my favorite classic has to be Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I almost said Pride and Prejudice. I do read that one every year because it's just a favorite, but I think the one that hit me the hardest was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, because she pioneered an entire new genre. Come on! She was creepy and twisted, and I'm kind of creepy and twisted. I mean, not to her extent, but I love Frankenstein. I think it's such an amazing story. Question number 5 is, what is your Help, I'm stuck on an island book. And the practical answer is how to build a boat. But the answer, in the spirit of the question, for me is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That is because that is the one book where nobody dies. It ends off on a pretty positive note, and it has a special place in my heart. Question number 6 is, what is the book that always makes you laugh? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, because it's so absurd and it's so quotable. I always quote it. See? I can't even talk about it without smiling. It's one of my favorites. Question number 7. What book or book series do you think is overhyped? Game of Thrones. I know it became huge because of the TV show. I mean, it had a die-hard fan base, but I think that the books themselves are so overhyped, and I couldn't even get through the first one. Question number 8. What is the book that changed your life? Harry Potter. I was the same age as the characters growing up. I lived through everything with them. I mean, it was an escape for me. Question number 9 is, what book made you cry? This book, when my grandma was dying of ALS, she's the one who owned the bookstore. The last book she ever recommended to me was a book called Dewey, and it's about a library cat, and I read it after she died. I couldn't read it while she was alive. I didn't have it in me, because that meant, I wouldn't have anything after she died. And so after she passed, I read it, and I had been holding my grief in so much because I wanted to be strong for everybody else. And after I read this, it was like the floodgates just opened, and it broke me in the best and most beautiful way. And it just moved me through the stages of grief. And so it's Dewey. Question number 10 is, what book has haunted you your whole life? And this is kind of a funny story. When I was in middle school, I read a book called Only Child, and I could never remember who wrote it. I just remember what the cover looked like, but the story. So the story itself is about a only child, a young boy who's about to graduate from high school, and he is planning to throw a big birthday bash, but his parents surprise him and say, hey, we're going to this resort. And when he gets there, he finds a bunch of other people that he went to school with who are also only children, and one by one they start to disappear, and it's creepy and twisted, and I had nightmares about this book when I was younger, and I've always wanted to read it again. And so actually, when I was coming up with this list with my friend, I started searching like crazy on the internet, typing everything I found, like everything I could remember about this book. And finally I found it, and the title is the same. The book is called Only Child, and it's by Jesse Osborne, and I forgot his name again. Glad I have it written down, and I'm glad that I bought the book. So it is here. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to read it, and I'm excited to read it. So those are 10 bookish facts about me, 10 questions I answered with books, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So if you like my channel and you want to follow along, go ahead and click on that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon. I do post every Wednesday and Friday, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. My next video is going to be a book review on a recently released novel called A Song Below Water. So I will see you guys on Friday. Bye!